Hello my dear friends and welcome back to another Star Wars news update. In today's video we have some major details for the plot of Obi-Wan Kenobi, some big character news and more. As always my dear friends, before we dive into it, please may I ask you to hit that big red subscribe button if you've not done so, and also be sure to give that bell a good old tickle to be alerted each and every time that I post new videos. We are now so close to 70,000 subscribers, thank you all for your amazing support, but we still need to grow the Mandalorian army, so don't be afraid to share this video, and without any more jibber jabber, let's dive straight into it. So my dear friends, we're going to start with Obi-Wan Kenobi and some major plot details as well as character news. So if you remember when we got the original cast announcement, there were many actors who we didn't know which characters they were going to play. We obviously knew that Ewan McGregor was going to play Obi-Wan, that Hayden Christensen was going to be Vader and maybe even Anakin in flashbacks, Joel Edgerton was going to be Uncle Owen, and Bonnie P.S. was going to be Beru. But we now have some further details from Jordan Mason at Cinelinx, which basically confirms that Sung Kang is going to be playing the fifth brother. In an exclusive new look, he talked about what's going on set for Obi-Wan Kenobi, notably that we're going to see Darth Vader in a lot of action sequences. And beside him, we're going to get the Inquisitor from Rebels, the fifth brother. Now, in case you're not familiar, this Inquisitor played a huge role in the Vader comics as one of Darth Vader's most trusted confidants. The fifth brother helped on important missions, such as the one to locate Eth Koth. This big piece of news makes me think that the Kenobi series is going to show us some other survivors of Order 66. But that, my dear Megalorians, is not the only piece of news we have for Obi-Wan, because the article goes on to reveal some new plot details as well. We knew that young Luke Skywalker would be a pivotal aspect of the Kenobi series, but did you know that it's going to be a young Princess Leia who's actually going to take center stage? In Jordan Mason's own words, he reveals the following. Last year, when casting was really just getting underway for the show, the Illuminati reported that it looked like we're going to be getting casting for both a young Luke and Leia. And this is the really important part. Jordan Mason says, "I can tell you Leia is a part of Kenobi in a big way. In fact, from what I've heard, the stuff dealing with Leia is pretty much the impetus for the whole show and what gets Obi-Wan into another adventure. Even better, I can tell you that Vivian Lyra Blair has been cast for the role." Mason goes on to say that we will be getting other Star Wars Rebels characters as well. So before I talk about Leia, just on this last point for the Star Wars Rebels characters, it really seems like there's going to be an interconnectivity between Star Wars Rebels, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and of course the Bad Batch. So this reveal is pretty massive, because while we've been focusing on Vader and Obi-Wan and even the Inquisitors, we forgot about the young twins Luke and Leia, and specifically we haven't really spoken about Princess Leia. If Leia is going to be a central part of the series, just like Jordan Mason is saying, this might be what causes Obi-Wan to leave Tatooine for a short time on a mission. I know that a lot of people say that he shouldn't leave Tatooine because this breaks canon, but as long as it's not permanent and only for a short time, I don't think it matters too much, and besides, the action of the series kind of depends on the fact that Obi-Wan will not just remain on Tatooine. And if Princess Leia is the reason that he leaves the planet, we might be getting a live-action version of Alderaan for the first time since Episode 3. Revenge of the Sith gave us our only look at Alderaan so far, because 19 years after Revenge of the Sith and 9 years after the Kenobi series, as we see in A New Hope, Alderaan gets obliterated. So hopefully we do get some Alderaan in the Kenobi series. Also noteworthy is that this article says that Leia has already been cast. He claims that Vivian Lyra Blair is going to be the one who plays young Leia, and the young actress has already been in so many great things. Now we're going to stay on the subject of Obi-Wan Kenobi for the meantime, because recently Sung Kang himself, who as I said might be playing the fifth brother, has given an interview where he talks about being on set with Hayden and Ewan. I'm going to play the clip in a minute so that you can see what he said in his own words, but this article is from Comic Book and it states, Obi-Wan Kenobi star details the excitement of the cast and crew while filming. It starts off by saying the future of the Star Wars universe is headed in some really interesting places. Among them is the post-Revenge of the Sith series Obi-Wan Kenobi. While many details have been kept under wraps, Sung Kang recently told Rotten Tomatoes about the experience of working on the series. And so this, my friends, is what he had to say.
The feeling that I get on set is every single crew member, you look in their eyes and it's like a kid going, I grew up watching Star Wars. Like, this is my dream to be here. Like, to see one of the, Star Wars character, Darth Vader character, one of the Jedis walk around. It's like, no matter how old they are, it's like guys that do my makeup and stuff and people who do the costumes, to all the set designers. There's this feeling of legacy. It's like everyone talks about history and, why they feel so blessed to be here, right? And so there's this history, there's this kind of shared spirit and this passion of why we wanted to come into Hollywood. And, the connective tissue is all these Star Wars characters, like I used to dress up, in these Halloween costumes. Like I had a Darth Vader one and a Luke Skywalker one. It was all put together with like duct tape after a while. And the fact that I'm, actually on set and they're putting like a Star Wars costume on me, come on, Tara, it's like pinch yourself, right?
So now, my friends, we're going to move on and we're going to speak about Star Wars Visions, because we have a big reveal that one of the upcoming Visions stories is going to be our first post-sequel trilogy story, the first of its kind to take place after the Rise of Skywalker. Now, the last time I spoke about Star Wars Visions, not many of you were very interested. Some of you are, so let's talk about it. Star Wars Visions will explore eras outside of the Skywalker saga. The creators of Lucasfilm's upcoming anime short film anthology series Star Wars Visions have unveiled new details about the show's placement. Earlier this month, Lucasfilm revealed its first wave of promotional material for Visions, and this included a teaser trailer as well as interviews with the show's producers. In a recent panel hosted in Tokyo, the founders of Studio Trigger revealed that their episodes The Elder and the Twins are going to exist outside of the time period of the 9 films of the Skywalker saga. While The Elder is going to take place before The Phantom Menace, The Twins is going to take place after the Rise of Skywalker. So here are the details from the full statement from IGN below. Masahiko Otsuka and Hiroyuki Imaishi explain that their 2 Visions entries are going to bookend the Skywalker saga, with Otsuka's The Elder set before Episode 1 and Imaishi's The Twins set after the events of Episode 9. For some viewers, this series might be their first Star Wars experience, so I wanted to make something that you can enjoy without any knowledge of the rest of the story. So our story is not directly connected to any of the characters from the films, but it explores the ideas of the Jedi Knights and the Master and Padawan dynamic in an older setting. As for the Twins, it's set after Episode 9, after the Empire has been vanquished by the Resistance. And I think of course he means the First and Final Order rather than the Empire. The remnants of the Imperial Army have raised a pair of twins on the dark side of the Force, and the story goes from there. I also want to take this moment to reiterate, guys, that even if you don't like Star Wars Visions, it's been confirmed that the stories are not going to be canon. And while this doesn't matter to some people, it is worth pointing out. I also think in these 2 pieces by Studio Trigger, it's really cool we're not getting any characters that we're familiar with, only the concepts of the Force, the light side and the dark side. So even though it's after the Skywalker saga, there's no overlap between Episode 9 and this story. I think the reason they're making a big deal of the fact that it's after Episode 9 is the fact that the context is that the First Order has been abolished. Now, on a separate note, I'm very curious to know what happened after the Battle of Exegol in canon. Within the Star Wars universe, I definitely want Lucasfilm to explore the new Jedi Order, and conversely, which bad guys are left. Kind of like when the Empire was abolished, there were remnants that eventually became the First Order. What happens after the second death of Palpatine in the Rise of Skywalker, and what sort of bad guys are we dealing with? I'm not sure if Lucasfilm ever plan to make another trilogy that's kind of like episodes 10 to 12, but if they do, I'm really interested in that story. Hopefully by then they learnt their lessons about planning things before making them. But what do you guys think, and what did you make of all of today's news update? If you guys enjoyed it, please be sure to give me a big fat thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're brand new, and a huge welcome if you are, and if you guys get any value from my videos, please consider becoming a patron. The link is in the description down below, and you get exclusive access to content that's not found here on YouTube. Otherwise, I'm Star Wars Meg, wishing you all a phenomenal rest of the day, no matter where you dwell in the galaxy. Have a good one.